wake up, sweetheart, it's war paint.
They told you the war was over, and that the culture battle was done, dusted, settled. They told you to go home, smile nice, and obey. But you're here. And so am I. Which means it's not over. Who wants to begin?
I'm tired of sleeping and dreaming. Hop out the shell of a being. I'm tired of working and bleeding. I am the God and I mean it.
There can be only one.
16, pouring up another scene. Papa got the vaccine, so ain't no acting, play no practice. Niggas wanna check this out, the playlist. Acting brainless, fuck you, pay me. I'm tired of sleeping and dreaming. How about the shell of a being? I'm tired of working and bleeding. I am the God and I mean it.
You know, it's really funny to me because I used the wrong intro video loading it the last second, but it's so appropriate that the intro video that I included was about cannabis because today we're talking about Scott Adams and even I hate people who cry on the internet. I'm trying not to. Today we're gonna honor Scott Adams. As everybody who's watching probably knows, he passed away. Left behind quite a legacy and shaped a lot of our lives for the better. And, you know, he is deeply missed. So instead of giving the spiel, I'm just going to let it go to the man who got this all started in the first place. Let's bring Charles on. And let's we'll hand it to Scott.
Kim forced me to wake up this early in the morning.
It's for Scott, man. We're going to do our simultaneous.
All right, let's do it.
For a mug or a glass, a tankard, chalice, a stein, a canteen, jug, or flask. A vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid, I like coffee. And join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. It's called the simultaneous sip. Now watch how good this is. Go. Yeah? Was I lying? No. It was just as good as I told you it would be. And it is every single time.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Well, Scott Adams, guys. He was an incredible person. And let's take a look at his final statement. I actually have a video that covers it. Let's just play that instead because I am tearing up and I don't want to read it.
That's right anymore. I'm going to try to get through this. He has a final message that he wanted to say. So I'm going to try to read it. Trying to be strong. If you are reading this, things did not go well for me. I have a few things to say before I go. My body failed before my brain. I am of sound mind as I write this January 1st, 2026. If you wonder about any of my choices for my estate or anything else, please know I'm free of any coercion or inappropriate influence of any sort. I promise. Next, many of my Christian friends have asked me to find Jesus before I go. I'm not a believer, but I have to admit the risk-reward calculation for doing so looks so attractive to me. So here I go. I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. and look forward to spending an eternity with him. The part about me not being a believer should be quite quickly resolved if I wake up in heaven. I won't need any more convincing than that. I hope I'm still qualified for entry. With your permission, I'd like to explain my life. For the first part of my life, I was focused on making myself a worthy husband and parent as a way to find meaning. That worked, but marriages don't always last forever.
So the video doesn't cover the entire thing, but people
Yeah.
can look and find the rest of the message, which is all over the internet.
I
And
think it's on Scott's page.
yeah, and one thing is for sure, I'm not the best Christian in the world. I don't know exactly which line from scripture this is, but it's men of goodwill who may attain heaven. So men of goodwill, men meaning all of mankind, and goodwill just meaning you just are a selfless person as much as you can be. And if I make him, he actually said something about that. So I want to play that video.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is born, the baby is perfectly selfish because it has to be. Can't survive. Things have to be done for it. As you get a little bit older, maybe you can help out around the house, but the kid is still a selfish creature and needs to be. It needs a parent to help it out. When you become a parent, there's probably a point where you feel you're giving more than you're getting. You know, you're giving to your kids, you're giving to your job, you're giving to your spouse. And then by the time you die, if you've done everything right, in that final moment, in your last breath, the last thing you've done is you've given away all your wisdom, you know, all the love, if you have any. We hope you did. And then at your last moment, you give away your estate, everything you've acquired in your life. It's a perfect moment of unselfishness, not planned necessarily, but if you do it right, your arc has been from completely selfish to completely unselfish.
I think that's incredibly beautiful. I never
Right.
really thought about it that way, but I have thought about, like babies are very selfish and we have to form them and help them to, love one another. Animals are all selfish. And you think all the dog, including you, Kim, all the dog lovers and cat lovers are going to hate me for saying this, but dogs and cats don't love you. They love what you give them. They love that you provide for them. They love that you feed them and give them warmth and comfort and shelter, which is fine. That's what they are. They're creatures that appreciate. I would say they appreciate you. They and you know what? I could be wrong. I'm not 100% on that. So I'm willing to be. I would be happy to be proven wrong that they actually do feel a selflessness. And animals will sacrifice themselves for their kin as well. So anyway, I just think that's wonderful. Selflessness and selfishness are really key when it comes to whether you're a good person or not, whether you're heaven bound or not.
I think that that's true. And I also, when he was, he talked about this a few times in his final weeks, his possible conversion. He was pretty private about it for the most part, but one thing that he did say was that one of the things that compelled him into belief was the fact that all these people wanted him to convert. And if you didn't believe, why would you be trying so hard to convert him in the first place? I do believe too that he lived a life. It feels so. I can't believe it didn't occur to me that I'd want to cry while talking about this. That was really foolish of me. But he, in his life, and I want to read more of his books because this encompasses that message a lot more. But he really was about dispersing his wisdom. He was about sharing his gifts with the world. And I'm going to keep our messages to myself. I don't feel the need to broadcast those, but he, he followed me pretty early on when I started doing commentary, and he gave me one of my first major interviews. Like, I think it was to date is one of my biggest interviews, is my conversation about medical cannabis with Scott Adams, which again is really funny why I messed up the intro and put the wrong intro in. But I digress. It's just he had so much of value to share with the world, and he went out of his way to do so, to the point where his final breath was he was literally getting ready to do the show. I don't know if the video showed it, but Shelley was just like, in typical Scott Adams fashion, he waited until right before we're supposed to go live, before he passed away. And we had Jack Posobiec lead the first Scott Adams list simultaneous sip. And that, I mean, like, it was such a powerful message. It's literally like, up until the very end, he wanted to make himself available to people. His last couple live streams, he invited people on to just like ask him questions. And while I'm sure that a part of that is the comfort of knowing and seeing the people who really care about you like come to your side, I think another part of that was him wanting to make himself available, because that was what he did. That's what he was known for. He was constantly saying, like, how can I, not in this verbiage, but like he wanted to be of service, which is a really Christian sentiment. And I believe that enough of us believers out there, regardless of his his faith himself, I think there's enough of us out there who are kind of just, saying our own prayers and trying to help him, guide him through that alone. And I think, does that carry weight in the afterlife? I don't know, but like, I'd like to think so. I mean, like, I'm a baby Christian, so I'm still learning about the morals and the differences and the the different, like Protestant, Catholic, Christian, whatever the hell. But I mean, like, aren't sin eaters a thing? Don't, like, if I don't necessarily know the full process of it, but like somebody like absolving you by like taking on the sin to repent for themselves, isn't that a thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole idea of Christ dying on the cross was him paying our debt. And so yeah, that is a thing. You can take on someone else's debt, so to speak. But the other person still has to be willing to accept Christ. So,
well, I think that I genuinely believe he was willing to do so.
Hey, the first step in believing in God is often, not always, but often fear of hell. And that's what his deathbed conversion sounds like to me, which is perfectly fine. It's an imperfect way to believe in God and way to accept God. It should be, you should accept God in love, not fear. But fear is acceptable. It is good enough. And so for him to say, I don't believe, but I do accept him, because the gambling, it's a win-lose or win-win. If you die and there's no afterlife, win. Okay, no pain, no suffering. It's darkness or nothingness for eternity. Like, you're gone, nothing. Win, because you don't have to experience any suffering or pain. But if there is a God and you lived your life denying him and never accepting him and being selfish, then you go to hell. That's a loss. That's a lose. And if there is a God and you accept him and you're sorry for your sins and you want to do good, even if it's out of fear of an eternity of hell, then that's a win. So it's a win-win situation or a win-lose situation. Every atheist should be open to the possibility that our universe didn't just fart into existence from nothingness.
Right. What's the quote? Nobody's an atheist in the foxhole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I had a debate. I won't tell a long story. I had a debate with a guy who's clearly an atheist, and I just kept going. I'll move slightly from the microphone when I do it. I was like, "So you really honestly think the universe just into existence from nothing? Well, that's ridiculous." I told him I would sooner believe in the spaghetti monster that you guys jokingly say could exist and be the god that created the universe. I would sooner believe in the spaghetti monster than I would in atheism.
That's really funny. Okay, well, we got a few more clips here. I don't have that much time left, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to add one right now.
It's literally everything. And on top of that, you've got TikTok doing these videos of childless adults saying how great their weekends are because they don't have any kids. Now, I have two feelings about that. Number one, they're totally right about how great their weekend is without kids.
That's true.
However, I'll just speak for myself. There's almost nothing I ever did as a single person, even if I was in a relationship. There was almost nothing I ever did that was as fun as getting up on a Saturday morning and watching my stepdaughter at the time play soccer in a non-competitive, intramural kind of a team. There's nothing I did that was more fun than that. And was it easy? Nope. There was driving and waking up and getting food and making sure everybody's taken care of, and you got to bring chairs down and cancel everything else, and it's a lot of work. But there's nothing I did that was more that I felt like deeply, deeply enjoyed. Just watching my stepdaughter play soccer. That's it. Couldn't top that. The second thing, the best moments ever. Do you ever think about what you would remember if your life flashed in front of you like you're dying? I don't know if that really happens. But do you ever think, like, what do you call your life? Because I find that there are moments that I call my life. Do you ever have that? Like, I don't think, if my life were flashing before my eyes, I don't think I would think about my Dilbert career. As 35 years of doing it every day, I don't think I would think about it. I'll tell you what I would think about. If I can. I would think about watching Disney movies with my stepkids. That's it. That's what I would think about.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I don't have children, and I wish I did. I wish I had by now. And yeah, you know what? I get to have fun and I'm free from the shackles, so to speak. But I do not envy other people with kids. I'm happy for them because they have the joy that I wish I had.
Well, I believe that that's in your future. I definitely do.
I hope so.
You'd be an awesome dad. But again, this is just more that I think speaks in the favor, and I just like, if there's like the heaven pile and the hell pile, I think the heaven pile got a lot heavier, especially as the years went on. And I mean, that's just like, it speaks to the kind of person that he was. What do you say? We'll do one more clip and then
Sure.
we'll wrap up.
Yeah. Was there, because yeah, whichever one you think.
Okay.
Learn to like embarrassment, number 7, and that's something you can learn with practice. The Dale Carnegie course goes directly at this. They put you in embarrassing situations in front of your classmates until you realize that they just cheer and say, well, that was a good job dealing with that embarrassing situation. And pretty soon you think, via repetition, even though there's no logic to it, you start thinking, wow, embarrassing situations are kind of fun. Everybody gives me attention. I didn't really get hurt. Everybody talks about me. They have a story about me. Cool. I can't tell you how many insanely embarrassing situations I've been in, both as a public figure and privately. Do any of them bother me at the moment? Nope. None. And it's not because I'm awesome. This stuff used to bother me a lot. I just learned through practice to put myself in lots of embarrassing situations, such as the one I'm in right now. Well, what will people say about this video? I don't know. Doesn't bother me. Won't stop me a bit. So learn to like embarrassment. Don't just tolerate it. You can actually, literally, get to liking it. I'm already there. It's a real thing.
I like this guy.
I like him a lot. I always have, and I just it's I didn't think, especially because we had like some preparation, we knew it was coming. I didn't think it was gonna hit me as hard as it did. Maybe it's partially the pregnancy, but I mean, I just like I can't. It's hard to think about without crying. And poor Jack Posobiec, man, like it's been a rough few months for our friend Jack Posobiec. They were really, if you didn't know, they were really close.
Yeah.
Um,
I gotta say, I wasn't. I knew he was a person, and I believe I knew by name, like, oh yeah, he's the guy that did Dilbert, right?
right.
But I didn't really follow him or know him or listen to him at all. So this is all new to me, and
Well,
I gotta say, I'm impressed. He seems like I was looking at the other things he wrote. It's all wise things. They're all like I like this guy now. I wish I'd liked him before he died.
well, I think at some point we should re-air the episode that I did with him. Maybe we and you and we can edit that together.
Okay.
I also, I was gonna keep this as a coffee with Kim thing because like we already do the simultaneous sip in honor of him. That happened before. But I think there's maybe it can just be like reflecting on Scott Adams because like there is like we could do that for years and not run out of content.
Yeah.
His book, and I desperately want to read his books. So, I think this is the moment where I decide that we're gonna do reflections and stuff like that for the Coffee with Kim, and occasionally we will do current event stuff. We'll talk about that because I mean that's what Scott did. He would. You should watch some Coffee with Scott Adams episodes.
Maybe I'll watch some. Yeah.
He basically like he takes like the news for the morning, and he was like Tim and I were watching this at most like during COVID because like nobody else was up as early as him, and he would be up and we'd all make our coffee and we'd have our first sip of the day with him, and I'm gonna miss that a lot. I was reminding my friend the other day before he passed away, like he sounded rough, and I was just like, he doesn't have much time left. And literally, it was like 2 days later, he was, we were seeing that video. Anyway, I have an ultrasound to get to.
Yeah. Real quick announcement before we go. I'm going to attempt to make myself available on these at these 9:00 Thursday morning streams because Kim virtually shook me and said you have to do it. But I'm gonna try to wake up early. Try to do it. A little earlier than I did today. Kind of rushed this morning downloading the videos.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It was we're all busy. We're all trying to get ready. But yeah, I think this should be an ongoing thing for our Thursdays. Is we'll do at least one part of it will be like reflecting on a Scott Adams lesson. I think that would be really nice.
Yeah.
And what a way to carry on his legacy.
Yep.
Thank
Very
you guys
good.
for joining us today. And just try to, I mean, like, I'm a very imperfect example of this. I do try to be better, try to be kinder, try to live as Scott Adams.
Do a selfless act. today
Yeah.
in honor of Scott Adams
And
and for yourself.
and remember to tell the people that you love them. So have a good day, guys. This has been War Paint, and I hope that you wore it well.